memories, because we'll bring some key functionality into this. All right, so Live Assist. All right, let's talk about keyers first, because DVEs are kind of the trick that we use the memories for. Key 1 is your CG, right?
Yep.
Actually, it's a DVE at the moment. So I'll overlook that fact. Let's go with select key 2. Put touch PC into that keyer. Very good. Now change the key type. So the reason I do select key, then the source, then the key type is because our menu follows. It's always going to follow the last button pressed. And I want my DVE controls. So if you notice the green button there that says auto, if you hit DVE, you'll see now it shows you here. Touch PC is a DVE on key 2. Go ahead and turn it on. So cut it on air. So just hit cut. Here we go, we see it. You'll see because the DVE was the last menu item that you selected, you've got the controls, X, Y. So we've got up and down, left and right, and a size. With that menu selected, your joystick now is a thing. So go ahead, we're going to make like a 2-box. So in the background, let's put M1, so program. Notice I said background. Because right, it's going into the background, our keys are on top. All right, I want another box that's going to be one of the cameras, and we're going to crop it down so that it fits in that empty space on the left. All right, so let's go with, well, they all look wide shots. Go camera 3. So we're going to do key 3, camera 3, DVE. We turn the key on. Notice we don't see that box underneath because there's a layer order. The higher the key number, the higher it is. So let's make it as tall as the ThinkCentre, the touch PC feed. So size it back up. You can also just do this. You could go select this one here. And it says 68.6. So if you select back that way and then twist it to 68.6, you should have one that matches. And you can also adjust the Y position. Double tap on the Y position. And then also do that. So that brought it back into the middle, which is fine for right now. Go to the second key, and double tap on the Y position to reset it so it's at 0. So now these two line up, right? Problem is our camera is like 16:9 and I want it to be like the other way, squished. So select that key, so that'll be key 3. And you've got more options. You also have the dashboard here, but for this, the ability to crop equally left and right, I like using the 3-knob menu. So hit next. And you see we're in menu 2 of 5. So there's a horizontal crop. Spin that knob. And you'll see it's equally coming in left and right, yeah? If you tap down on that knob once, you'll see it says left. So now spin the knob, and only the left side moves. And you'll see that the slider is also following along on the dashboard. So tap it down again, you'll see you're now adjusting the right side. Tap it down again, you've got both sides and it'll come in evenly. The reason I like the cropping in the center, because you don't have to then tell your camera operator, your guy's on the left. All they have to do is stick their person in the middle, you'll crop in the left and the right side. All right, so crop it down some more and move it to the left. There you go. We'll go with that. If you want to stick a border on it, it's harder in this menu, the 3-knob menu, easier over here. Do you see the border option? There's also drop shadow. There's also a bunch of lighting effects as well. So if you're happy with that, we'll go with it, because we'll mess with it later. Okay, so I want to be able to recall this effect up at any time, and I don't want you to take in as long as you did X, Y, spinning knobs, right? That's the whole benefit of a memory, just a snapshot. All right, so to do that, you're going to go to the Live Assist the memory option there. And this is, we talked about the R state. We're now going to go to the store settings. So you'll see there's a recall setting as well, recall side of things. I would just leave everything orange. It's the safest thing. But here we are going to pick and choose what we want to store of this memory. So we're on the program ME, correct? That's what we're working with?
Yeah.
So you'll see at the very top, it says inclusions. And right now the only thing selected is MEPP. So that means when we store this memory, we're only storing what state the program ME is in. ME1, mini ME1 and 2, we're not. It's not going to record what state those are in, because that could be a problem. All right, where do we want to store it? So you see there's memory banks. So go to bank 2. So bank 2 is the smaller button at the top. All right, now this is a 2 box, and there's 2 boxes in there, so 22 is perfect, right? Just the way I think. 0 is going to be when the boxes are off the screen. So you've got memory 22 selected. Now, the area down below, you'll see that we're in the general settings here. So this mode is how is this memory going to get, well, how we're storing it, but how it's going to be recalled. So there's 3 options. Is program, which means when we recall this memory, it just cuts to the new look. Effects dissolve, which is currently what's selected, that allows for the boxes to slide, because we're going to go from one position to this position. Wherever it is, this is where it's got to be. And it's going to do that over this duration, which is 30 frames. Cool. Do we want to memorize any of these settings? So our background is media 1, and we've got this leaf image loaded in. So I kind of want to use that. So I do want to remember what's in media number 1. Cool. That's all we have to worry about here. Anything else, chroma key, roll clip, camera, we don't care. So I always like to not have those selected, because what if you had a memory that you store later on that does have those settings? We'll now have just, when we recall this memory, wiped out whatever settings that you did have. That causes hair pulling and crying. All right, so the next thing we want to look at is the MEs. You see the buttons options at the bottom there. And if you look one layer up, you've got Program ME, ME, Mini ME1, Mini ME2, and Canvas 1. So because we don't have any of the other MEs selected, we don't care about those. It's just the Program ME that we do care about. And you'll see all the options for that here. So we've got all trans. So if you tap that and tap it again, so when it's blue, that means we're storing that setting. But that's a shortcut to disable everything, or disable or enable those. Do we care about the transition area? Because I'm calling this up, I don't, so uncheck that. The next transition area, no. Run auto, no. What that does is means when you recall the memory, it hits the auto trans. So we will do this when we do our camera cutting. Maybe I want a memory that dissolves the camera on instead of cuts to the camera. So background bus, that means what source was on the program bus. Yeah, we want that, so we leave that blue. What's in preview? Don't care. Undo it. Yep, because I don't want to always have it come back with camera 1 in preview. I might be wanting to go to something else next, so you leave that turned off. The preset or the shared pattern, I'm not using a pattern, you? Yep, turn it off. All right, so next area down below are the keys. You've got 4 keys there. So you see key 1 has all of those options selected. So key 1 that's not being used in this memory, so we could just turn that off. But at the same time, CG1 fill, that's your CG channel, it's more likely going to be what you have there, so it's not going to really hurt it. But I would turn everything off except for key active. Now what that's doing is I'm not overwriting what the source that's in that key or the key type, but I am telling it whether it's on or not. And right now we have it turned off, so I kind of want it not to turn that key on if that's not part of this look. So key 2 though, yeah. Well, let me ask you that. Do you want in key 2 the touch PC to be the source that's always there? This might be, a 2 box where you've got the presentation and then picture of the person talking. So maybe you'll always want this to be. So yeah, go ahead, leave the bus. Yep, that's cool. Key 3, same deal. You might decide, no, I want to decide what's in there. It might not be, what is it now, camera 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow it's camera 2. So everything except for the bus. Perfect. That's like one key's a little different. It's a good training exercise. So I pat myself on the back for that one. Cool. So because you've already checked the general settings, that's that's the way it's going to be stored, the rate at which the effects dissolver is setting, or the media that was chosen, and then we've just gone through all of this stuff. So we're good to store the memory. So there are 2 store buttons in this interface, 2 buttons that say store. Hopefully you see that one there. You hit that. The only feedback you get that memory was stored there is you now get in below the word 22 there, or number 22, it's not a word, it says MEPP. Means that the program ME has a memory stored at 22. If we were to tap on 0, you see it's purple, also showing you that, hey, I got something there. Now, if we go to update it, there's no, hey, you did a good job, I've just stored that. It's kind of, it'd be nice to say thumbs up or good job or whatever. And we've got the icons for it. So, but there is no feedback after the first save. So keep that in mind. It's okay to hit store a couple times. All right, so we're going to do the exact same thing, but storing at 20, I want both those images or both those boxes to be off the screen. So hit key 2 select there, grab your joystick, push it off to the left, or maybe the other way, and then okay, store that. So go back to your memory, and you're on your store settings. You've got memory 0 already selected. Go ahead and hit store. There you go. Right? So how do you recall it? If you go to the recall side of that dashboard, this time start at the top. Make sure you only have program selected. So turn off your ME1 and the 2 blue boxes all the way to the right there. All right. There you go. Go to Bank 2. You're going to see, so if you tap 22 there, and if you hit 20, and 22, cool enough, right? Punch something else on the switcher. So put camera 2 on program. Let's turn keys off. You recall that. 20. All right. Excuse me. You see how you have to reach for it, right?
Yeah.
Let's make buttons to trigger it. So you do have, was that memory bank 2? So now you see you've got memory 20 and 22 there, so you could hit those buttons. But that's just a memory recall. It's not a custom control telling them it to recall a memory. And you notice how the box kind of lifts up as it goes out to the right. That's because as you drag it off with a joystick, you also nudged it up. So we could have, I would like a third memory where the smaller box, the one on the left, is off the screen, but the touchpad is full screen. So if you hold down that one,
Hold on, this one?
yep, you see it says reset key in the touch home area.
No.
Tap that. Resets at X, Y to 0, 0, 100%. Store it. So you make sure you go to the store settings. This is something that will burn you as well. Make sure you've got the right, whoa, we might have just blown that out, but let's try it out. Store. Let's see what happens now if you, so if you jump to your memory, bank 2 there, let go. There you go. Into 0. 0, okay. I saw you click it and I thought, with it still being 20 selected, I thought that might have overridden it. All right, so, cool enough. But you can see you can do you could go, is that 23? You go 23 to 20. So you've got now a couple different options of cause you've got 3 memories, but you can now move between each one. So you could go 20 to 23. 20. Yeah. So instead of having both of them fly off, just fly at full. Okay. If you were to hit bank 2 here, do you see you've got a 0, 2, and a 3?
Yep.
Tap those.
Just tap all 3 of them.
Well, one at a time, but there you go. So that's what the cool kids do. They'll be using their 10 keypad. So as you do it, you notice that your memory, that utility row, which is looking at memory 2, memory bank 2. Obviously, build it out looking cooler. All right, what else can we do with this? Oh, cameras. So I'm going to get you to go to bank 5. And you'll do it from the keypad here. All right, so we're going to see if this works. I'm going to get you to put camera 1 on program. Yep. You're going to store the memory from here now. So you hit store.
Even with the...
Oh, well, we'll turn these keys off here. Probably a good idea. Thank you. Store. If you tap 1 and hit... Oh, how are we going to do this? We're going to hit program. Hit 1 and then hit enter. All right, put 2 on program. Store. Make sure program is lit up. Hit 2. Hit enter. So now if you tapped 1 right now, hit 2. Look at you switching with your right hand. Now you just rinse and repeat. Go to 3. So put 3 in program. There you go. So now you got 3 cameras, right? Now put camera 1 in preview.
Yep, it's already in preview.
All right. Hit store. Hit effects dissolve. Hit 4. Hit enter. Do the same for camera 2 in preview. I think we've got to mess with settings, but go ahead. Let's see if this works.
5?
Yep. you're getting along with where I'm going there. So, all right. So now, if you were to hit 1, 2, 3, you're cutting between 1, 2, 3. If you hit 4, 5, 6. So 4, 5, 6, right? Doesn't do anything?
Yep.
Because you see, and that's because the last memory that we recalled was that 2 box where we told it, I don't care what's in preview. So, and we also aren't doing the auto run. So we do have to use our dashboard to work with it. So the idea here, the goal is, I hit 4, it dissolves to camera 1. I hit 5, it dissolves to camera 2. Hit 6, it dissolves to camera 3. Sorry, I said 5 when it was, because usually you do it on a different bank. They'll do one bank is cut with cameras, another one is cut with CG1, another one is, because directors at that level talk so fast and they can change their mind before they get to the end of a sentence. So you've got to be ready for that. And because they have so many different keys, and it's what they guys do to make it easy for them and make them quick. But if what you are asked to put on program gets to program, how you get there, no one can give you a hard time. I mean, we will, but because it's usually, you get on a panel that's 4 rows, you got folks that just are reaching and flying their hands all over the place. You can laugh at them, but if what they're getting to program is what's asked, they're doing their job. So yeah, it becomes a philosophical discussion about switches, realizing that we're in the university we were at. So it's kind of fun. Is that one of the guys that I talked to that's been doing it for a very long time, he says his workflow it changes every once in a while. He may, 6 months later, may do it a whole different way, or set his switcher up, or going from one switcher type to another. So we have one coworker that we refer to as Princess that will switch with one hand and text me with the other, and that's where the comment, both hands on the switcher, or 2 hands on the switcher, is a internal joke. Because when the director told him to do that, he got very annoyed. All right. Okay, so the whole point here is we want 4, 5, and 6 to dissolve those cameras 1, 2, 3 in. So we do have to mess with our dashboard memory section. So you're already there. So we're going to the store side. So put 1 in preview. So we're going to build the first one from scratch. Then we'll be able to just come down here and duplicate. Because every time you recall a memory, all of those settings, all the blue buttons that were lit up, they get updated. So they'll change. So depending on what memory so be careful with that, because you might recall one memory and go, oh, I need to save this real quick, and you'll have just saved it with a whole bunch of different attributes saved or selected. So, all right. So we're still talking about the program ME, right? So we've got camera 1 and preview. So do I care what's on the background bus? No, I don't want to change what's actively on air. So uncheck that and turn on the preset bus. Now I do want it to auto-trans after I recall the memory. So all the memory is doing is recalling that camera into preview. Once it does that, I want it to auto-trans. So hit run auto. The key is let everything go except for the active, right? So we can just pop that, sorry to reach over here, but there you go. We are putting it into bank 5. Are we in bank? Yeah, we're in bank 5. It says 5 there. And you see that we're going to go with 4. So let's double check our work. So the general tab, what's that say? Click on general. So it's effects dissolve, which is yes, because we want it to dissolve. It could be programmed, but because we're going to be doing an auto trans right afterwards, so we'll see how that works. Media 1, uncheck that. I don't want to have to keep loading that leaf in, so we're good there. All right, go ahead and hit store at what was that, 54? Yep. Okay. So let's recall memory 2 there. So it cuts to camera 2. Now hit 4. And you hit 4? I didn't. What's in 4 right now? 2 is on. Okay, do that again. 1, 2, 3, right? And when you recall 4, doesn't do anything. But it puts the. It does put camera 1 in preview though, doesn't it?
I can change.
Yeah.
Change it to 3.
And you hit 4. Yep. So the preview part's working. The auto is not. So let's go back to. Let's have a look at the recall side. So recall MEs here. Yep, we've got that. So what I'm looking at here is on the recall side, anything that's orange means recall it as it was stored. So we can override, hey, you recall that, every time we do that 2 box, it's always got the touch PC in the big box. But maybe I'm going to use a different source. Maybe it's the Podium. You would, instead of having to save that memory again, you would just override. You'd come in here and say, override the bus source for that Kia. And that way it will still recall the 2 boxes, but it will leave whatever you've selected on that Kia, the source. But whole point is I need to check that. General, as everything is cool there. So we go to store. So we're recalling 4. So go ahead and hit program there, mode program.
This one?
This one here. So everything else, blank. Go to the ME page. Yep, almost there. Up a bit. There you go. We've got run auto. We've got preset bus. All the Kias are good. Transition area is all good there, happy. All right, store that at 54. So store. Okay. Go ahead and put 2 into preview. I'm going to hit store 5, enter. Go ahead and put 3 into preview. All right, so if I now do that. All right, so you got camera 1, 2, 3, dissolve to 1, dissolve to 2, dissolve to 3. All right, so it was the recall mode. We had effects dissolve. We just need to have it in program because we want to just cut it into preview. The auto is doing the dissolve. Now notice it was dissolve, right? Now do 4, 5, 6. Because the memory doesn't tell it what transition type to use, it's whatever was last left. So now you got it. Okay?
Yep.
That was a speed run through everything. You all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and it was very light. I mean, you can get much deeper with this stuff, right? The 2 boxes. For example, let's fix this. I don't want those boxes, those 2 Kias, to be on my program ME. I want them to be on another ME. Because I want to build that whole 2 box effect and bring it in as a single source on my program. So, I'm not going to make you rebuild. But recall that memory that brings the 2 box up.
Sure.
So you've got multiple ways of getting there. There you go. 22, I think. All right, I want that to go to ME1. So how do you get what you've got here, up here? So we can do a key copy. So I'm going to cheat you through this. So you see this key select area here? Because this row, we flip things around so the handles are offset. If I want to copy that key over to here, hold down the key selector of the source I want to copy to, tap the key that I want to copy from, and then now if I cut that on, you see on ME1,
Oh, nice.
I can do the same thing for key 2, or the next key, sorry. So now if I turn those both on, do this properly. That's it, right? No, something's not right. And this is where you find out, if you go to the status page, all 4 keys are used. What's tying us up? There are 3 DVE keys on the program ME1, and that's why you notice in the ME1 the Think Center goes full. It's like it's not being DVE'd.
Yeah.
And that's because CG1 here, or key 1, if you hit auto, that's now freed up that resource. So now I can copy that key over. Did I do that right? Touch PC.
There you go.
There you go. All right. I think I might have held the wrong one down. All right, but the idea: hold down the key, destination key, tap the select of the key you want to copy from. I copied it from one ME to the other. It could be within the same ME. All right, so that's that, but the background didn't go. So how to copy the whole thing over? Same thing, but just use your background in your next transition area. So hold this down, tap this ME's background. I now have ME1 looking exactly like the program ME, which means now I can free up these. But we would still have to store the memories up here for that. But if I take these keys off, there's program. ME1 now is a single source. Here it is in preview. Media wipe. There you go.
Yeah.
So the idea being you can preset your 2-box effect, 3-box, or whatever it is that you want to do, put it in that ME, then bring it down into your program ME. It's a single source. There are no keys being used on the program ME, so you've got that like one level of fail-safe will catch you, and that's the reason you typically use another ME. Now your mini ME could do the same thing, because your mini ME only has 2 keys. We didn't talk about that. Do you guys ever use your mini MEs? Is this a new thing?
I don't know if you might use this like that.
Okay. Well, you're going to use it now. You got green screens in there. Oh, we haven't done a green key. Gonna need to do that. All right, so, hey, camera 1 has got a green screen. We'll use it.
I could go adjust it if you want. We
No,
could put
we
the other
could-
camera on the back of the green screen.
Yeah. So, we'll see how good this is. All right. Chroma keys in. No, you've got another Ultra. You're fine. So this is the same kind of deal. So I do it on the keyboard, and I now, remember I said you hit the key select, then the source, and then the key type. Well, chroma keys throw that out. So let's do the chroma key on Mini ME1. Mini ME1. All right. No, that's cool. You've punched Mini ME1 onto program.
Sure.
But you see that Mini ME1 is, see the red boxes now?
Yeah.
That's that second set. So let's turn this into Mini ME1. Use those selection buttons. That yellow one, there you go. So now if you look at this, other than yellow, you'll see these these are only 2 keys that you can use. These 4 grayed out, they don't exist. So I would like you to put Media Store 1 in the background. No. Yeah, Media Store 1, M1. So punch M1 up on the program bus of Mini ME1. Yep. So you see that? Mini
Yep.
ME1 there. But also we see it on program because you
Because I
have,
it over here.
you got it. Exactly. All right. So we are going to select the keyer. You get to pick. All right. So you've selected the key.
Yep.
Come over and hit chroma key type. So when you do that, hold it down. Look underneath. You've got chroma key 1, chroma key 2.
Yep.
So let's go with, okay, we'll do chroma key 1. So that, do you see what happened in preview?
Yeah, black.
Do you know why it went black?
No.
Have a look at the button you pressed.
Oh, the program.
Yeah. So you just put black on program. That's all.
Sure.
It's the row there. Yeah. Here you go. So you can let go now. Right. So doing that, M1 takes our dashboard away from where we're actually we want it to be, but it's okay. Hit select here. That brings us up to that menu. So we're now, it's key 1. If you hit it again, it's chroma key engine number 1. Now pick the source. So now put camera 1. I see somebody move the camera. Yeah. Yep. Perfect. Let's turn the key on so that we can actually see it. So cut it on. See the noise is going a bit weird, but look, this is now, you see it's trying to take the blue out. Select the green, then hit the init button.
Nice.
Not bad, eh?
It's a good looking leaf.
Yeah, it's a good looking key for not turn. I don't know if he turned lights on or not, but I don't think show alpha works on a Mini ME. But if you hold down show alpha there, yeah, it doesn't. Because what we should see in preview would be the key channel. So that only works on the big MEs, the ME1 or program. All right, so you now have Mini ME1 doing a chroma key. I don't have to worry about it ever. I now can just cut. You can cut to camera. You can go to touch PC. And you can then, you've got Mini ME1 in preview there. You can cut around, do whatever you like. So your Mini ME, all it's doing is your chroma key. So you could even rename Mini ME1. So if you went to the configuration, see, I'm now throwing a lot of stuff at the last minute. It's like, oh. Go to the input page. So this is where we can name every input. So instead of camera 1, 2, 3, it could be people's names. But you'll see there are 3 options there. One is internal. If you click on that, these are all the internal sources that you can use. And if you find the one that says Mini ME1, it might be below the auxes. Yep, tap into it. Edit. It's an editable field. There you go. So you use the green screen, right? Is it for weather?
Yeah.
There you go. So WX. And it could be weather WX wall, because that's because weather wall is more than 8 characters, right? There you go. So you now see it as weather wall. If you now look on your inputs, there it says weather wall. Kind of makes it easy for folks to connect the dots, right?
Yeah.
Mini ME1 doesn't mean anything. Well, it should when you look at the multi-viewer. Okay. So Mini ME2 could be a different effect. 2 box. You can take Mini ME1 and put it into Mini ME2 and then take Mini ME2 and put it onto program so you can stack stuff. But again, you're only doing 4 boxes. But you have a key left over, right? You could put one of your CG channels into that Mini ME, which could be the background for the person keyed over. But you probably have something else, right? Do you play video? Do you have a video? Yeah. What do you stick behind the person on the green wall?
We're sorry.
Typically it's weather graphic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's coming from?
That we usually put it on one of like the M1 or M2.
I just want to key in and we keyed in with the green screen.
So you can use your expression. You would put expression on the program bus, and that will be where the person will be over top of. That way you can do your graphics much faster. They can be flying in, numbers popping. Yeah, all right. The more time I stay here, the funner this could get. All right.